Hi there. I guess I wanted to come on and um, talk about confidence or having it, because I really do commend all of those people out there who are just bold and don't care what anyone else thinks and just say whatever they want to say and not be afraid to do so. I mean, I think that you guys, that if you guys are like that, that's just amazing and you should be proud. Because confidence is a very hard thing to come by, especially for someone like me. I was teased a lot growing up. I also felt kind of tossed to the side a lot a lot of my life, and like I wasn't good enough. So I was always someone that just kept quiet and wouldn't say what I wanted to say because I didn't want someone to hurt me like I'd already been hurt a million times again. And God, you just can't, we can't do that anymore, people. I mean, if you're one of those shy people that keeps getting stomped all over and doesn't speak up, just speak up. You have to, because eventually you're gonna have a lot of rage and blow up at people that it'll be completely out of your control. The anger will eventually just bottle up so much that it just causes more pain than good. I mean, life is too short for that. You just gotta believe in yourself, and the first thing that comes to your mind of what you want to say, just say it. Because, I'm right now talking about this makes me very uncomfortable. And it makes me very, very uncomfortable and vulnerable, and because I've struggled with confidence for a very long time. And the reason I started singing again and started doing this is so that I could start believing in myself for real, just like God believes in me. And going for these things really is such a beautiful thing, because it does bring happiness in a way that nothing else can. Because I met a new friend last night, and I was so worried about, I was nervous about it, very nervous, because I've always been worried about, like, if I meet a new friend, like, will they be mean to me or bully me or whatever. That's like, I overthink it so much, it just doesn't go away. And last night, I put myself out there and I made a friend that's a girl, who's super nice, and I just was myself. And I said what I wanted to say. I didn't hold back. I actually just went for it and did the best I could. And that was the most freeing thing I've ever done. And it was the most I had felt like myself, I think, ever. because that was the first time where I hung out with a friend and really was genuinely myself. So I think I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who has always just tried to be what other people want you to be. But doing that for long enough gets so exhausting. It's so mentally exhausting to not be yourself. I mean, if people aren't gonna like you for who you are, then honestly, you should just go tell them to fuck off. I'm sorry, but because all of you are special, and you have nothing to be afraid of, and I don't have anything to be afraid of anymore either. There's nothing to run away from anymore. Don't let people make you feel like you're not good enough. You are good enough. You're always going to be good enough. And I actually been working on a song about it because for so long I've been hard on myself. And even though I was like saying, well, someday I will be good enough for somebody. But you know, it's not someday, I already am good enough. It's just the fact that I chose to let people into my life that didn't treat me good enough. And I let that happen. And I'm not letting that happen ever again or anymore. And you shouldn't either. If you're in a similar situation and your friends don't treat you right and they're not there for you and they judge you and they're toxic and whatever, you just rethink your situation. I know that's what I'm doing. I've been putting myself out there to make new friends, and it's been very scary and like nerve-wracking because I'm just really shy and everything. But man, it's been so good for me. It's good. It'll be good for you too. Like whoever is in need of listening to this right now, it will be really good for you to put yourself out there. I mean, and as I will always say, change is just so difficult. It's so hard. It's like so uncomfortable. And a lot of the times we stay where it's comfortable. But a lot of the time, comfortable things are the things that make us absolutely miserable. And even though when we actually do the uncomfortable and admit that what we're really feeling, that feels just as shitty also. But after so much time of processing and allowing yourself to just breathe and do what you actually need to do, it ends up being so good for you. It's such an amazing thing to try new things and do things you've never done before and talk to people, to new people, and do things like go to the gym and show your body off and sing on the internet or tell that guy or girl that how you feel about them and not be afraid to do it. or stand up to this person who's bullying you and treating you horribly and telling them how you really feel. That's how you know when you have confidence, is if you can just be completely raw and vulnerable and tell the truth. And I really can't stand the fact that our society is so like skeptical and defensive over hearing the truth. So a lot of the time people think the truth is just like judgmental and like rude and all of that. But honestly, like, the Bible preaches truth, and sometimes truth is what we need to hear even though we don't want to hear it. And yeah, sometimes it might be hard to hear, but it's not intended to be mean. It's intended to help you learn from your mistakes and learn from things and what you could do better as a human being. It's not what everyone thinks it is. Our culture really needs to get that in their heads, because there's a difference between constructive criticism, which is truth, and there's also bullying and verbal abuse, which are totally different things compared to constructive criticism. Totally, completely different things. They're not all the same thing. So get that out of your head. Once you've gone through any of these things, and whether you have or haven't, they are all very different things. Just gosh. I guess I just wanted to come on here and be a voice for all of those shy kids that have never had their voice be heard. Because I just feel like it's about fucking time that people like us are actually heard for once. And I guess what I would want to say is, why me? Why target these people that are more shy and vulnerable than you? Why go after them just to make yourself feel better? It's not their fault that your life has had problems. It's not our fault that you're in pain. Like, please, can't we just put an end to this cycle of hurting others and saying hurtful things to other people? It's just not acceptable. I mean, your words and the things you say and do, they mean something. They mean something so much that multiple people have committed suicide because of it. And a lot of people think about it. And that's because of your words and actions of what you're doing. You really should think about that before picking on someone else or saying something horrible to someone else to make them feel like they're worthless. You have no idea what that does to a person. Absolutely no idea. It ruins their self-esteem, their confidence, their livelihood. It makes them not want to live anymore. And it's absolutely disgusting to treat another human being like that. And you should be ashamed of yourself if you've ever done that to someone. And honestly, you should apologize to whoever you've hurt. Because apologies go a long way. Because for someone that's gone through being bullied like that, that's all they ever want to hear is someone to apologize to them for what they've done. It's just completely despicable. And yeah, and the irony of it all is God is still going to forgive you for what you've done. So why not forgive yourself and stop treating people like that? I mean, maybe the real question is, are you really confident in yourself? Because if you are, why would you terrorize other people? Why? Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say.